See on it. Right. Hello and welcome to the Hedonistic Way at Midday Show. I am Renee Main, and this epic woman, she is a ray of sunshine and a breath of fresh air. She is a pop of color who is teaching us to get real. She's an artist, she's a photographer. She is someone who is unapologetically expressing all of herself in all of her realness. She is like the golden age of truth, freedom, and expression. She's like taking a trip to Wet and Wild. She spreads exhilaration wherever she goes. Welcome to the show, Stepha Doyle.
Woohoo! What an intro. Holy shit. Pinch me. Wow, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I say it all the time. I love like writing the little intros and the promo material because it just gives me a sense to tap into you and your energy. And when I was writing yours, I was like, this like Wet and Wild theme come up. I was like, that is so random, but I am just gonna go with it because
Oh, I'm so here for it. Yep, I'll claim that. Thank you.
So when I did tap into you, like, oh, there's so much that I want to go into. So I'm just gonna like have a feel into what wants to come through first. I want to tap into the realness because I feel like that has been, and I'm like, there's that part of my mind going, wow, Renee, let's just like dive straight in there. Let's just go deep straight away. So the realness, because I feel like that has been probably one of your biggest pieces in your evolution is embracing your realness as you are. So I'd really love to honor, how did you get to this place where your realness was potentially your biggest struggle to your biggest superpower?
Oh, love it. And I love it because I'm always like, yeah, let's just like let's just go in. Let's just do the thing. Like, let's not fuck around. So I'm here for it. And yeah, so I like the simplicity and the truth of it is that it was through my mum's death at 17, when I was 17, when she died from suicide. And you know, that whole experience, when I explain to people what that was like, it's like there's only one thing I can say, and that it's fucked. And I think grief is fucked in itself, and I think losing people to suicide is fucked. And I think there's heaps of stuff in the human experience that there's really like, you can try and use other words, but really that's like it. And that, you know, like it was completely fucked and like a really hard time in my life. And also the piece of a huge piece of my evolution and why I do what I do and why I'm here doing what I do and why I bring what I do to certain spaces. And, you know, the realness for me is like, when the night that my mum died, I had this lightning bolt moment of feel all there is to feel and you'll be okay. And yeah, like I think in that moment in time, I was just like just about to fully enter the I call it like the black hole of grief that I was in. And the part of me that could sense that and that was like, what do I do? How am I going to get through this? I don't know. And that was what came to me. And that translates into the realness, like being real with myself, and also throughout my journey bringing that realness to people, to places, to spaces, and continuing to like own that part of me and bring that forward in all of the different ways that I relate to people. So that's the short big bold simple yet like really big answer.
It's absolutely huge, and there's a couple of things that I want to ask you from that, and that is, why do you think people are afraid of realness so much? to express it, to see it like in all of its facets?
I think there's a part of, and I think realness can take different facets. And I think a big part of the realness is the emotion, the human expression. And there's so many expressions that we're not used to seeing. There's so many expressions within ourselves that are shut down, from small ages. I feel like I witness children now, and I'm not a mother, but so many beautiful friends have had babies, and I witness their children at different ages, and just like, they're angry, they're pissed, they're sad, they're excited, they're joyful, they're like, they're throwing a tantrum. It's just like the constant ability for them to just like, oh, here's the emotion, I'm feeling it, I'm expressing it, and then done on to the next thing. And for all of us, I think in different ways, we've had experiences where that expression has been shut down. And I think we shy away from it because there's different expressions that confront our own mortality, or confront our own realness and the parts that we've been suppressing. I think seeing another person grieving, you go, it holds a mirror up for you to go, oh, all the times I've been grieving, or all the times I have grieved and not properly let myself grieve. And I think that's why that there can be that aversion to the realness, to the grittiness, to the like acknowledgement of the humanness. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's, I've been writing a lot this morning, and that humanness piece just feels like so key to all of it. I think that sometimes we forget to allow ourselves to be human, and we have human desires. And I think that it's really easy to feel guilty for having desires, for wanting validation or connection, or all of these human things that we think, oh, we shouldn't want that. But it's like, we're fucking human. Of course, we're made for this. We're made to experience this.
Yeah, absolutely. And like all it, like you mentioned, like the full spectrum of the grief, of the gritty, of the painful, and of the bliss, the joy, the pleasure, and something that I'm journeying myself through my facilitation, and just also me to me is the, what's my comfortability to joy, to excitement, to bliss? How comfortable am I to fully receive and experience that for myself, and also share that with the world in the ways that I choose to share? And just noticing like there's actually discomfort there. There's a comfort for me in the hardship and in the struggle and in the pain. And now I'm like, oh, okay. And through that, the acknowledgement of like, oh, I'm allowed to want this. I'm allowed to want more. I'm allowed to have these big, audacious, bold desires. I'm allowed to have these dreams that have come to me to do the thing. And also, like, I think something that's just come to me as I'm sharing this that feels really pertinent at this time is like, the world right now is going through so much, and where are we allowing that to like take away our joy, or take away our bliss or excitement or happiness that we're experiencing? And where are we kind of going, oh shit, like I can't be happy because of XYZ. And then going, oh, I better not be happy, when actually I feel that is the medicine that we need right now. We owe it to ourselves and each other that, if we're experiencing our lives, to fully fucking experience enjoyment and really be with it. That feels really big at the moment.
Absolutely. I agree. And I've had a lot of people, say, with everything that's happening right now, like, should I be selling? Should I be serving? Should I be, is it wrong to put this out? And I'm like, hell no. Like right now, like the world needs us right now. It's, I think it's a beautiful time for people to delve in, to do this work and to begin this exploration. I want to ask you about how, you spoke about being really comfortable with the dark and the underworld, right? And I get this like so much. So I'm really curious. because it does get comfortable there. Like you know that you're fucking badass, and you can make, you know, the dark, right? You're comfortable there. But sometimes opening up into this, oh wow, there's all of this available. So tell us how, if someone like listening and going, yes, you know what, like I can navigate the dark. I've been through some, you know, some trauma, some pain, some massive life experiences, but how now do I open myself up to receive everything, you know, that is available to me, that isn't just dark and mysterious?
I think there's a part for me in the personal development world that I was really like into. I feel like now I'm not in the spiritual community, I'm not in the personal development community. I'm just a human, just doing human shit. I'm all of it. I'm all of it. There's the grief, the mess, the magic, all of it. But there was a time, and you know, like I have no regrets. I fully appreciate myself for the journey I've been on. But there was definitely a time where I was like addicted to the shadow, and that like really meeting those parts of myself. I think there's been like a pleasure in the pain, which I think gets to just exist. But I think for me, like now and the last 12 months have been a really big season of evolution, just like really big decisions and changes in my life that but I just feel like it's been a big time. I feel like the last 4 months have been like a slowing down and like, okay, like look at the big stuff that you've moved through. Like, let's celebrate that. I think we've felt a lot of pain from some of the big stuff there. I think we've met a lot of that pain, and it's like seeing it's almost a realization of like where I'm at now is something I dreamt of years ago, actually more than I could have ever comprehended 12 years ago when my mum died. I thought, God, I would just give to like actually genuinely smile again. And so to be here now living this like magnificent life, even though classic humans, myself, I'm like, more different, more work, I'm still imperfect. It's like slowing down and going, cool. I can see all that future stuff. I'm here for it, super excited. And it's like, how can I be really present with every part of my life? And how can I especially like allow that joy when I'm present with it to just fully take up space and to be felt in my body, and to not also rush through it and rush through life and like onto the next thing. And I think it is such an art of slowing down and bringing in presence into life. And like I've had a few experiences recently where like I've gone out for lunch, and then we've just kind of lingered after lunch and just been chatting for hours and hours and hours. And the part of me that's like, I should go home and work. And then I'm like, I've got nothing to go home and do. So I get to just like be here now. So where am I like trying to rush through life? And where am I trying to just like almost like shut myself off from the joy or the bliss or the pleasure that's actually right there waiting for me to just welcome it in. So it's this slowing down and letting it take up space. And I think, I know through my experience, it's not as prevalent now, but I definitely have moments where I have felt like I need to stockpile my joy. I need to save some of my joy just in case shit goes wrong again and I need some, even though like that can't actually happen and that doesn't actually make sense. The part of me that's like, just in case someone dies, I've got some joy that I can tap into. And I'm like, it's not actually the true stockpiling is feeling all of the joy now, so that I have amazing memories to tap back into if I need to tap into that energy resource. So it's like reminding myself of that safety within my body to just, it's okay to fully feel the joy and fully feel the bliss. And this is a little bit of a different experience, not so much now, but when I was first starting to really feel that joy again after Mum's death, this is a new experience. I know it's been hard and heavy the last couple of years. This is new, but this is also safe.
Yes.
And you're also allowed to experience this.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your journey through opening up your capacity to not stockpile that and to just allow it in, right? Because you could insert like joy, pleasure, money, like anything in that. So what's been your process or your journey with increasing your capacity?
It's a really good question. I think I can, as I'm reflecting now, like I can definitely see moments where it was like, cool, I'm not going to stockpile joy, but then like just carrying about things like I normally do, and still kind of doing that. I think as I have had more awareness, I've been able to like, I definitely think the presence part and like really slowing things down and allowing myself to feel the safety within my body, and knowing that safety exists regardless of what I'm feeling, like that safety is there. So it's probably rewiring my nervous system to be like, cool, we are super safe in our bodies regardless of what emotion we're experiencing.
Yeah.
And then my work is like feel all there is to feel. So it's like that applies to everything. So like taking the moments of, cool, I feel really excited right now, I'm going to play some music and have a dance. Like I'm going to just let myself go and be in that feeling and really like, capturing the energy or the emotion while it's there and being fully present with it. Like, cool, it's here right now. Let's be fully right here now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right here now.
Absolutely. And that's the artist in you, right? Like that is like an artist can't create if they're forward thinking about what it might look like in, once the piece is finished, or what the next piece is going to look like, or what the next, piece is. So I think that it's really relevant and symbolic to the artist in you, I feel like. So I'm curious to ask you, like, when you were 17 and you lost your mum to suicide, like, do you have a dad? Yeah.
No.
So what was that safety net for you? Like, what was that? I don't really know what I'm trying to ask, but I'm just, because it's that I get that, right? Because, because when my mum passed away and I was much old, like it was 3 years ago. So, I was much older. But I have a dad, but I don't have a relationship with my dad. So when you lose that core person in your life, like your whole foundation is fucking rocked, like it's taken away, like the ground underneath you is taken away, especially if you don't have another parent to lean on.
Yeah.
So I really admire you to be 17 and to navigate that. How did you, I want to say, like, how did you find or re-find, is it a word, that foundation?
Yeah, thank you. I'm not like, I'm laughing and just like, definitely the last couple of years, I have moments like with my partner now, we've been together 8 years. Like I have moments of like, I don't know how I sometimes don't know how I'm here. And just in this moment going like, wow, like I'm here and I'm doing more than I ever could have imagined. And, with when I said to myself, feel all there is to feel, the other piece was, if this experience helps one person, you've been truly successful. And I mean, that's not the wording that I would choose now, but that sentiment exists there. So it's like I have these moments now where I'm like, wow, 12 years later, like I'm having conversations like with you right now in this moment that get to speak to this experience, and I'm here and I'm fine, everything's okay. So just giggling at all of it. I mean, that's like a really great question. And the truth is, so I have a biological father, but I have no relationship with him. And so my mum and I were living with my grandparents my whole life. So I have a really good relationship with them. They're still alive. But in what happened, they lost their daughter. So I mean, that's just, I can't even comprehend that. And then I have quite a small family, so then it's just mum's brother and sister and their partners, and I think we all just were kicked into our own grief journey. And I think for me it was like this immediate thrust into adulthood and figuring it out. I had a lot of support around me, like a lot of people who were just like present, who were there, who were like just willing to love me. And I didn't have anyone who had been through anything similar. So there was just no reference point. But I knew in my mind, like I would turn out, like there was two options for me: either make like a life of my dreams or not. And everyone's like, oh well, she had a tough life. Like there's an excuse there. But I did have a partner at the time who, he was the one who told me my mum had died. And so we'd been together for like a couple of years. And I just, as you were asking this question, I think what happened is he became like a really safe space to me during that time. I really kind of, I think, turned to him. And then when I was about 2 years afterwards, that relationship turned quite abusive, and just physically, financially, sexually, emotionally abusive. So it was kind of like, I feel like there was a part of him that got me through, or our relationship that got me through maybe that first year. And then it got sort of really toxic. Then I feel like after I got myself out of that relationship, it was a lot of like, okay, like a lot of healing of my mom. Yeah, just like, whoa. Oh, fucking what? Figuring out who I am in life and all of those bits and pieces. I think, I mean, like I don't have any regrets in my life. It was just a part of my journey, and it made me really fucking learn what love is and what love isn't, and what I want in a relationship and what I definitely don't want in a relationship. Like I wish I didn't have that experience in ways, but I also did. And I think a part of that relationship in that first year did kind of get me through with enough energy. I don't know. When I have no fucking idea, but he was someone that, would lay with me in bed and I would cry to for that first year. So that, definitely that. And then I think after that relationship, it was like, really, really finding my way.
I love it. It speaks to me like just that element of that fierceness of where you're at now, where you can go, you know what, like you have traversed some massive terrain and yet you can be here right now because you fucking choose to. And not only do you choose to, but you get to do it with such vibrancy, right? So let's talk about this vibrancy that you have, because you are just a breath of fresh air and you do pop color and bold color. And, so you're popping into people's lives and threads and reels and, all of these things. How do you live so loudly, unapologetically?
I feel like the truth to this is that when I was a kid, like I had all of these wild dreams. I was an only child, so I had heaps of time to just dream and conjure up plans for my life and figure out what I liked and what I don't like or didn't like, and had a lot of my own space. My mum managed to get 4 degrees in 17 years whilst being a single parent and working. Just some absolute wild shit in there.
Yeah.
But there was time there when she wasn't around, she was studying, that I was kind of off doing my own thing. And I just always had these, and actually I'm just noticing discomfort in even saying this now. I've just started saying this recently, that there was a part of me when I was a child that I was like, I'm going to be a celebrity. Now that was my only reference point to that. But I think that speaks to, there's always been a desire to be out in the world. I've just wanted to be out in the world, doing cool things. I love the brightness and the sparkle, and even through high school, doing things like performing arts and musicals and expressing myself in a very physical way through drama and dance. Yeah. And I think through like mum's death, it's like, I mean, I've absolutely get caught up in like the doubt and the fear and all of that stuff that comes with living a very bold, expressive, entrepreneur-driven life. Yeah. But after mum's death, it was like, why not go for the things I absolutely want to do? Yeah. And why not give it a go? And why not be in my fullest expression and be in the truth of who I am and what I like and what I'm about and what I want to bring to spaces. And there's definitely a part of me now that's like, I'm doing this for those who can't, or those who can't yet, who are still here and they're still figuring out who they are and they're still connecting to themselves. It's like that's sort of the permission piece I want to hold. And for those that we've lost to suicide, who feel like they didn't have the safety within themselves or their lives to express who they truthfully are. And reading mum's journals from the years of unlived dreams, it's like, I absolutely don't want to have that. I mean, I sit in two worlds of like, there's absolutely no time, like life is fragile, life is fleeting, we got to do the thing. And then I also sit in the like, trust the timing, trust the process, trust the unfolding of things. Like, things do take time. So I live in both worlds of that. But I think that's a big part of it. It's a part of me that's always existed. And then this experience is like, and not even just through mum, it was like through the relationship, that suppression, and then through some jobs that I had there was more bullying and suppression, and just I think after that, coming out of it and going like, fuck that shit, I will not be suppressed anymore, and I want to do what I want to do, and I want to do what I want to do. That's literally that's me. And it's like, I want to wear what I want to wear, I want to create and speak the things I want to speak and create, and that's who I am. And like, that sounds really bold. For me, it's been such a dance of like, I'm that, and then also like, oh, I'm nervous and I don't know who I am and what am I doing, and then I'm that, and the push pull.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, and that's the real piece, right? Like, because I think it's really easy to go, oh wow, like look at this person, like she's big and bold and she's got, she's like so confident and all of this. But it's the realness of going, and I'm also this and this and this, and I feel like, like I was writing this morning about like, just being in between worlds and what it is like to constantly live in this space. And there's absolutely, there's so much benefits and so many rewards, but there's also, it can be tough, right? It's because when you put yourself out there, and it takes it vulnerability, and you're putting yourself out there on, like, as you're saying, on this global stage, and you open yourself up to going, this is who I am, and all the potential backlash that can come, or am I too much, or am I this, or people are going, who are you, what are you doing, like da, da, da. How do you stay true to yourself and not get sucked into the vortex of what can happen in the worlds around you?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I know it's a it's a thing. And I definitely have struggled with the what will people think of me, but I've not had the struggle of that being present in my online presence on Instagram. I haven't ever experienced any trolls, touch wood. But I think my dance has been with I've like, especially on Facebook, I know so many people from different phases of my life, and every time I sort of show up on Facebook in a new way, it's like there's this new version of me, this reintroduction of sorts in ways, and I feel like that's applicable to all of us because we're constantly evolving. So there's always a part of us that's like, you know, dying and rebirthing, and you know, I think of this especially in my intimate relationship. It's like the willingness to meet that new person with fresh eyes again and again and again and again and again and again and again. I think my biggest thing is that when it comes to this kind of stuff, it's like I'd rather feel, and I'm here for like creating our realities and like creating the reality that I get to be my fullest expression and people get to accept me. But my sort of guiding quote that I said for myself is like, I'd rather feel the pain of someone else's judgment or them disliking me than the pain of my own suppression.
Yes.
And feeling really, for me, for a couple of years of my life in business, there was a time when I was like, I'm absolutely going to prevent suicide. And it was like a very leading point for me. It's absolutely still a thing now, but it's like, that's not my only work. I'm sort of coming at that with a different approach. And for me, that suppression is a killer. The suppression of not being able to be ourselves in whatever way that looks like, in the grittiness and in the sparkliness of it, is what hurts us. Is what affects our communities and the people that we love, to not be here anymore, not feeling safe, not feeling accepted. So, and you know, I think it's an interesting flow-on effect that the more I can accept myself, the more I can accept other people around me, and the more I meet myself, my real expression in all of the different moments that exists, the more I can welcome and accept others. And you know, like I reflect myself when I was, I don't know, 20, and I'd be people watching and judging what people are wearing and projecting and all of this stuff, to now meeting people, it's like there's this curiosity and like the parts of me that still get triggered sometimes, but then like, oh cool, like this is another human being living their life and being in their expression. Like, how can I, like, this fascinates me, how can I get curious about this and learn more for myself or receive more for myself? And so I think it's like what I feel really passionate about is like the more that we can meet ourselves in the different expressions, the more we can meet other people, and it's this beautiful like mirror cycle flow on effect.
And that's a beautiful thing, right? Like, that's so beautiful, and to be able to widen that scope and that lens, I think, is so important, and it is possible. It absolutely is possible. I want to, like, you do so many different things.
Yeah.
How do you how do you navigate that without going like, this is like a bright and shiny thing over here, and then, or is it just that you just follow that path of curiosity? Like, how do you stay on path but then still explore and do all the things that you do?
That's a great question. Because I absolutely know I have shiny object syndrome, like, and I'm aware of this beautiful part of me that gets bored. Now, it's beautiful, and it can also be a detriment if I'm just constantly getting bored with things. I think where I'm at now, so it was really about my sort of vision and mission was really about suicide prevention. And that to just like give it a picture, that to me felt like I was at the edge of the waterfall trying to sort of catch people. And what I decided, I was actually going to be paramedic. So I was going to be paramedic, and there's a part of me that still would if it weren't for the heaviness of that job. And there's, through what I've been through as well, there's been a knowing that I get to live an easier life, like live this nurtured life, and be really mindful it like the stresses I'm putting myself under. And so paramedics just didn't feel quite right, and it took me a long time to let that go. But what it came down to was I want to help people. So yeah, there was this part of me that then was like wanting to prevent suicide, but then also like I don't want to be just in that work. I don't want to be just in the suicide or just in the grief work. Even now, I desire to share more of my grief, but I don't want to just solely be doing grief work. So then what I got to was like, well, what if I move upstream? Like, what if I go up the river a bit, and it's more of a preventative kind of approach? And what it came down to was like activating this aliveness and liberating people's expression. So that's sort of what I came to and where my work is. And that's my anchor. And then from there, I just kind of go out and do different things. I do the things that really light me up, like on a personal level, like painting a mural in our house. And then photography has been a big part of my journey. I've kind of taken the mentoring side of what I've done with my photography clients, and I'm sort of offering that on the side. So it's just this like beautiful evolution of like, oh, okay, like this is what I feel like creating now. I'm going to create that, bring that to life, trust that, see what happens, and then let that sort of evolve. So there's definitely a part of me where I am absolutely trusting the energy as well, and really like I love the structure and the strategy of business, but I have also been really caught up in that throughout my time. And what's really powerful for me, well, I'm like learning that it's such a unique experience for each person. It's so individual. It's like actually, trusting the nudges and trusting, okay, this wants to be launched now. This wants to be created now. Okay, trust this, do the thing. And there's magic there. And then the other times of where it's like the strategy of like, well, this makes sense to do it now, but I'm not feeling it. And learning through that. So, and I think there's a part of like being connected to my creativity that has fostered this kind of random like, oh, here's a new project, here's something that I want to try, like this. Oh, other ideas.
Absolutely. I love that. And what I've really learned is like, because for a long time it was, it was like I went and did this and I went and did this and went and did this. And then I went through this period of time where it was like, oh my goodness, I've spent so long like skirting around the edges and chasing this idea over here and adapting and evolving and doing this thing. And then, but now I'm beginning to realize is what happens, you arrive at a place where you almost circle back where it all makes sense, so it almost doesn't need to, just like go do whatever the fuck you want, whatever feels good. And then you can come back to this place of going, you know what, I just know that it's all going to make sense or not one day. And I trust that too, which I think is really beautiful. So
I think there's two, like recently, very like in the last 2 weeks, recently for me, it's like I'm actually going to own my multi-faceted, multi-passionate nature. There's a lot in business about niching down and doing the one thing and And I tried that, and I tried that, and I could actually say I don't think it really worked for me. And maybe it did in ways, but like I also wasn't fulfilled. And I got to a place last year where I'm like, whoa, cool. Like I niched down and I'm completely unfulfilled and drained and burnt out. So for me to have like the multi-passionate nature, it's to be energized to me. Now I'm like, cool, like that's probably my work in the world, is working with people who are of that nature as well, who want to be playing in that way. And it's like, I believe all of our, like we're all needed on earth, and we all have different roles that we'll play. And for me, as I look at the self-employment and small business world that I'm in and the people I'm connected to, it's like, yeah, cool. Like I'm multi-passionate. I'm here to do lots of different things and be a master at a couple of them, and then just like dabble and play with the rest. And that's going to be a part of my experience. And how can I hold that for people as well and normalize that?
Yes, exactly. How to normalize that. Like, oh my goodness. Right. And just like what just like landed for me then is, once you do normalize that, then how much openness does that give us, that freedom to express? Right.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And just permission within ourselves, I think, as well. And to not, like, I always think, you know, our dreams that come to us aren't a coincidence. Like, they're coming to us for a reason. And I can look at all the dreams that I've had. Like, I'm in business now because 6-7 years ago I had a nudge to start a blog. Like, that doesn't make, like, what a blog to being here now, what the hell? But that was the inception point of it. And if I didn't listen to it for 2 years, granted, but like, the dreams and the things that come to us, I think, are always for something, even if it's not going to be that thing forever.
Yes.
Access point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, like, isn't that just like, just when you said that, it's just that, like, letting that idea go of, like, this is the forever thing. Like, our attachment to forever, like, is this our forever house? Is this our forever town? Like, what business, service, like, whatever it is, like, we've got this attachment to this thing called forever, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Like, and I think that's, you know, the conditioning, how we're brought up. And it's like, you get a job, you leave school, you go to university, you get a job, and you do that job for, I don't know, 50 years. And it's like, it's not how this world is working now, I think. And I think it's normal to go, oh, I actually don't like that anymore, or I'm bored, or I don't feel very fulfilled with it. Like, I want to do something else. Like that, I think that's complete. Can we just, like, normalize changing our minds? Being passionate about other things, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's just, I really just honor where you're at, and like, really grateful for this conversation, because that's what grief does. Like, knock your socks off grief when you lose someone super, super close. That desire, or that feeling, like that forever peace goes.
Yeah, that's bang on, actually.
Yeah, that feels like that, because it just dismantles that, right? It dismantles that forever piece. And once that forever piece is dismantled, your whole life changes.
Oh, I felt that.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, ooh wee, that feels, just such a significant piece.
Just so much, and that's so much of what we're all experiencing right now, in the changes to our lives and how we're operating and what that looks like, and the I like, there's a beauty in the fragility of life, I feel. And it's really, like, I don't know, I feel like some things sound really cliche, but it is like making the most and doing the thing that you want to do when you want to do it, and trusting. Like, I think my one desire is, like, for people just to trust their wild nudges, and especially the stuff that doesn't make sense. Oh my God, please trust the stuff that doesn't make sense. Like, you don't need it to make sense now. It's all good. It'll make sense, like, eventually. Just trust that thing, and give yourself that opportunity to go for it. And report back later, because it's a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. wholeheartedly agree. And just trusting that nudge, and knowing that it'll make sense eventually. Or, you know, you'll even, like with clients, right, like where you go, like if, like so often, like I feel like I'm at the edge, and then it's like, okay, I just need to do this thing, and then I know that it's going to just like go way beyond the edge. And it's even like I'm going, really, do you really want me to do this, God? Like, really? And then you go do the thing, and it's always the thing that takes them to a whole new level, that makes it land, crumble, transmute, like whatever it, you know, whatever's happening. It's always the peace now that I always trust that.
Yeah, especially when you feel that, like it's like almost feeling butterflies, but like a little, like, it's like I feel a little like zing in my belly, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, and like feeling the resistance too. I'm like, oh, this is, yeah, it feels like both exciting, and I have heaps of resistance to it. Okay, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Thanks
That's
so much.
the thing. Yeah.
And it's just like trusting your body, trusting yourself with all of that, and building that relationship.
Yeah.
I think there's
Absolutely.
definitely parts of the world that profit from us being disconnected from ourselves and who we are, and trusting ourselves. So it's like really a reclamation of like of that. And I think that can be really fucking simple as cool, this wild idea, I'm going to trust it. And like, I know for me with the blog, when that first came to me, it didn't go away for 2 years. It didn't go away until I actually did something. So like, I laugh, it's like every night before bed it was like, hey, start a blog, hey, start a blog. So one night I was like, okay, I'll go start a blog then.
Damn it. Yeah. I totally resonate. I had, my first business was an online business, and I had the voice going, start a blog. I didn't even know what a blog was. Like, this was like 14, 15 years ago. And so I was saying to my partner, I'm like going, what's a blog? I really think I need to do a blog. Like, but what is it? And he's like, it's just like an online diary. Like, it's, you know, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I ignored it for months and months, but I'm going, start a blog. And eventually I did. So for me, it was actually, my blog was a complete game changer for me, and opened up this world to me that, and I'm not doing that blog anymore. Like, I've had numerous blogs I've bought, sold, built, like, you know, and it's had this evolution of its own. But yeah, I totally resonate with what you're saying, because that voice doesn't go away, right? And it's like, I always say to like my interns, it's like when your butt cheeks clench up and you get that, and you go, oh, okay, that's the thing I need to do.
Yeah.
And it's resistance, and it's excitement, and it's like, oh, can I really do this? But it's in the butt cheeks.
Yeah, the butt cheeks. That is a great one. Always like, it's like a roller coaster sensation for me of like, or I'm about to get on the roller coaster. So it's like in my head it's bigger and scarier than what I think it is. But then when I'm on it, like, I fucking love it. It's a good time.
Yeah. Exactly. I want to ask you, we're kind of nearing the time to wrap up, but I don't want to leave you without asking you about all of the amazing work that you're doing with Reels and on Insta and on socials, because it really is incredible, and you're bringing something completely fresh to it. I know everyone on the planet is doing Reels, right? But I was saying a couple of weeks ago in a post that most Reels, like, I find really cringy, and I go, ugh. And so I have never ever done one, right? Ever. And I think of you often because I go, oh, but she does them so well, and she brings something really new to us. Where do you see socials going, and what has it done for you and your business, and how do you bring you to it without, like, because I feel like there's a whole bunch of clones and people doing the exact same thing and stuff. So how do you bring you to it, and how do you make them pop?
I think it's, first of all, it's definitely a journey, and it's a journey of like showing up and doing the scary thing, doing the, you know, you get the nudge and you're like, I should show off my stories, or I should do an IGTV, or I should do a post, or I should, whatever it is. It's like, cool, following that nudge. I've been showing up on the same account since 2016, so like five
Oh,
years.
wow. Yeah.
And 5 years of like, I don't know how long stories have been around, but I think it was pretty soon after I sort of started that Instagram page that started. And I think I actually started talking on Snapchat when I had Snapchat, and like feeling like an absolute wanker. I was some sort of like influencer talking to the camera. But then over time I loved it, and I look back at those old videos and there's heaps of them that are fucking cringy and uncomfortable and like, oh, but thank you also, girlfriend, for doing that, because I'm here now with this confidence to do so because of the constant commitment. I feel like social media for me, if there's one thing I can just remind people, like, you can't get it wrong. There's so much information out there on how you should do, how you should show up, what you should do, what content you should post, blah, 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 blah. It's like, how can you come back to trusting yourself and trusting what wants to be shared through you and how it wants to be shared? My opinion is that you just can't get it wrong. And ultimately it's an energetics game, and less about the vanity metrics of numbers and engagement, and more about connecting to yourself and sharing from a really authentic place there, and trusting yourself through that process. Like I said, like, if you're like, I feel like for me, I get a nudge for content, it's like, make a reel about XYZ, and I do it, and that's what lands. The times I go, oh, I should do a post about something, and I do it, and it's a fucking drag, I'm like, oh God, I'm doing a post, and then I post it, it just doesn't hit the same way. So it's like, how can you trust yourself? I feel like a really big thing that I've journeyed through my photography, like every time I photograph someone, I'm like receiving through that session. And there's a really big thing, I think, with social media, and I think sometimes it's like, there's a nervousness around being seen, but I think a big part of it is actually seeing ourselves and being willing to see ourselves through that process. And photos, like selfies, are great to see yourself and like can be edgy. Having a photo shoot absolutely can be edgy, because you've got a photographer doing like 360, there can be 360 degree view. And then there's video content, which is seeing yourself in a whole nother level, especially something like Reels, where you're curating videos. So you're slowing things down, you're cutting things, you're having to go through certain clips to see, where the beat pops and different stuff. And so you're seeing yourself, your very human self, move in its very human, beautiful, natural ways, but the ways in which we're also not used to seeing, because a lot of what we see in terms of video content, like in movies and stuff on TV, is curated. Creating your own content is like, I feel like creating short form video content like Reels or TikToks for me has been like one of the biggest initiators into self-love, and has really called me forward in embodying what I share to people about loving ourselves and seeing ourselves, and sitting with the discomfort of like, oh fucking hell, my face really moves like that, and like, oh, my body really moves like that, and then being with it and breathing through it and feeling the emotions that come up with it, and then also loving on myself through it, and my willingness to create and see myself in that way. And like, I don't know, now I'm like, it's interesting, there's a desire to feel stronger in my body, but there's not this like angst and this hate that I had for a lot of, I can say my 20s now because I've just turned 30. A lot of my early 20s was spent like hating myself and like, let's punish ourselves to work out and like, restrict eating and all of this unhealthy stuff to only be skinny and then think she was fat, and this whole like toxic cycles. And it's interesting now to be like, I desire to feel stronger, and also like, I really fucking love myself for where I'm at now. And it's so interesting with Reels. I'm always like, if you feel a nudge to do them, but then also if you're doing them because you're caught up in like the hype of the world and what people are telling you algorithm wise and metric wise, then I would say honor how you want to create, like how you truthfully want to create.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful piece of advice. Like, and I really, really honor that in that expression, because it has to feel right beyond the metrics, beyond what's on trend. It has to feel right for you. But what I do really love about what you said, and so now, you know, I appreciate the Reels process more, is because you're right. Like, it's so, oh, I don't know, it was maybe about 5 years ago now. I went and had I used to be in the lingerie industry. So that was my first business. That was my first blog for a really long time. But I didn't have my first lingerie photo shoot until like 5 years ago. And so I'd been in the industry for many, many years before I went and did this. And I had it filmed. And so I found myself like getting ready, not a problem, taking the photos, not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment where I had to watch them back, I was like, what am I going to see? Like, what am I going to see? Like, I was the biggest that I'd probably ever been. And I've gone, oh my goodness, what am I going to see back here? And it was actually the most beautiful, empowering experience that really opened up that self-love portal, and to see my soul, you know, in it. So I've not looked at Reels like that. So I love that you gave me that gaze to see them through that. So thank you.
I feel like it's just actually what you said for me, and like what I was sharing before about, you know, the grittiness of being a human, and then also the joy. I think sometimes we're like, the common thing is like we're afraid to see ourselves because we're worried that we're not going to like what we're going to see. But I actually think sometimes it's like we're really going to love what we see, and the discomfort of actually really owning that and going, fuck yeah, I look hot, because we live in a world where a lot of people profit off us being disconnected and hating ourselves and not liking ourselves. And it's quite the norm to be like, oh, like, look at my hips, look at my arms, I hate this, I hate that. It's not the norm to go, oh my God, look at my fucking tits today, or look at my ass, or look at my hands, or whatever it is. To unapologetically love ourselves is bold and not the sort of norm in the world. And I think that's the thing, like with my photography clients, all the time they're like, holy shit, and they're like, oh wow, you with the camera. And I'm like, no mate, like, this is you, and this is a part of you that you get to accept, this beauty, the softness, the tenderness, all of the different parts that we're seeing. Like, you get to really like let that in and let that land. So yeah, I love that little piece that you shared.
I love what you offered on that, because it is so true. And you know, like, we're brought up to, I mean, I know I was brought up to, like, you can't be vain, you know, you can't love yourself, like, oh my God, you're so up yourself, like, you know. And it was such a stigma around essentially self-love. So now it's like, we don't want to post anything that isn't flattering, or, you know, but then to be real, we don't want to be real either. So we're at this murky place in between. So I love what you're offering, is because you're bringing that home, you know, and accepting all of it, which is really beautiful. Yeah. Let's, one last question before we wrap up. I feel like we could talk forever. What is turning you on right now?
What is turning me on right now? I love that. I think spaciousness in my days and in my weeks, and just like doing less, is really lighting my fire. And receiving money and decent, like receiving what I actually want to be receiving for the work that I do, is also turning me on. And that feels like edgy as fuck to say that, but it wants to be said, so I'm saying it. So yeah, spaciousness and money, essentially.
Amazing. Because I did notice that. I didn't even get to ask you about that. That you've opened up to, like, you're doing something about like tracking your wealth or something. Are you?
Yeah, I set a challenge of earning 11K in 22 days, and I've done it as a very public sort of social experiment, sharing the whole process with people, which the whole thing's doing the game changer for me, and just claiming that part of me that wants to earn money, and claiming that part of me that gets to be financially rewarded for the work that I do. So it's been a huge focus to me at the moment, just like allowing myself to fucking love receiving money as well.
Absolutely. I think that's such an important part to get to, right, is to be open to receiving, to allow us to like love the desire that we do want to earn money, you know, and to be, and that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
beautiful. Ah, thank you so much for this conversation. I've really, really enjoyed it. Thank you for being you. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for just the work that you do in the world. It's been a real joy to just hang out with you today. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me and creating this space just to bring it, all of it, every part of it. I've really loved this conversation. I feel really, 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 really grateful. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in, and I'll see you next week, everybody. Bye.